human resources as a term. We need to start calling it human assets, right? The way we take care of our buildings, our rooms, our lobby, that lobby has to be shining all the time, and the paint touch-up has to be there every time, and you cannot release a room for a guest because the room is not in a good condition. Similar way, I think the human assets, that's your biggest asset, need to be upgraded, shine, polished, time to time, so that they always gear up to achieve the desired results for you.
So which means it is important to be around good people.
Of course.
Yeah. So I just want to understand, so this hospitality as an industry attract a lot of people. Like you were charmed by the shine and glamour of that. So am I. And if you talk to 100 of people, 90 will say this. But what is the reality of it? So when you get into hospitality, there's a lot of hard work. And when you move around the hotel, a lot of physical work are there.
Yeah.
This industry is driven by people.
Yeah.
A lot of physical work is there. So what is the difference when you came in looking at the charm and glamour of this industry? When you came in, how was the hard work and how does it impacted your personal life, time, all of this?
Well, now I can only give my personal opinion around it, right? And as I said, that once you're very clear that you need to achieve new heights in your career, then you forget about everything else, right? So, okay, I have seen days where, I worked for 17, 18 hours on stretch, right? Maybe perhaps not taken ops for a few weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. But then I did it not because somebody told me to do it. I did it because I wanted to do it. Because I wanted to create my own niche, and I wanted to create my own differentiator where you have 20 people in my team ready to go home, and then somebody stands out and say, listen, I think dinner operations are busy, let me stay back.
Yeah.
Right. And that's the smartness which I feel everybody should have.
Right. Right time pe right.
You need to put it out to create your own niche and differentiation. And I think for the first 5 years, just forget about work-life balance and everything else if you really want to make it big. Because that's the harsh but the fact. And I don't think this is only true for this industry, but this is for every industry, right?
I just to my people in my office that don't go for the work-life balance. Make your life and then have balance in life.
Of course. See, the point is that and this is the fact that your friends and family are only going to respect you once you have achieved a certain level in your career, right? And sometimes, and I always say this, that the parents are too emotional, and of course, they want you to be healthy. And in that emotions, the parents also take a call where they say, oh, no, you're doing too much. It's not right for you. Just come back. But then you as a professional, you need to decide what is good or bad for yourself. And you need to guide your parents to make sure that they're supporting you and not pulling you back from your goals, and you don't get, hijacked in that emotions and you forget about what you really came for. And do things what are required to be done. Otherwise, then you have 10,000 people working in hotels. But then you only have 10 CEOs of 10 different hotel companies, and you have 100 general managers or whatever, and in those top hotels, right? So you got to be very clear in your mind that what you want to do and how soon you want to do. So I say, at the age of 45, 50, everybody becomes a general manager, right? By the virtue of spending time in the organization or experience. But the fun is that can you become a GM at the age of 35?
Great.
Right? And that's what you've achieved, that become a GM in 10 years of your working. And that's where you've proven yourself, and that's where you create your niche. So become the youngest general manager in your hotel, and I think in your company, and that's what will put you right on the top.
So to achieve something, you have to let go something.
Of course.
So it's okay to work hard.
Can see, yeah, right. Of course, you can't have everything at the same time.
Yeah.
Right.
So you need to decide what you want for you.
Very clear. Yeah.
If you want an easy life, you don't look for a higher positions then.
Yeah.
Okay. So in this entire industry of every person who's in the hotel, the topmost position is a general manager to look at. You're the man of the house. So do you think that what is the qualities that people are required right now? I'm talking about Gen Z, all these new generation which is going to come into the hotel, who just right now studying in the college, who are going to get first step in the hotel. What is the mindset that you should come in if they are aspiring to become the man of the house, the general managers, the operation heads?
Now let me ask you something.
Please.
Right. What do you think is the biggest qualification for becoming a GM?
It's about having the right attitude and having the right skill in the place. That's the two things that you should have.
I agree. So the bottom line is, the general manager of the hotel has to be the best sales manager of the hotel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And if you can sell your hotel, you can become a GM.
Wow.
So that's the basic qualification you need.
But I will say this, sir, that I have seen more GMs coming from F&B background from a sales background.
No, exactly my point. My point is this, that irrespective of the department, I have seen IT managers becoming a GM because they realized that the end result, what a GM needs to do is to sell the hotel. And they started developing that skill set in them, right? So now, once you know that as a GM, your major task is to sell the hotel. And now to sell the hotel, whatever you said is right. So you need to have skill, you need to have attitude, you need to have confidence. And to get all of that, you need to have knowledge.
Yeah.
So knowledge is the foundation of your success. Because you will not have confidence if you don't have a knowledge. You won't have the attitude if you don't have a knowledge. You won't have a skill if you don't have a knowledge.
Yeah.
So once you have a knowledge, and for knowledge, you don't have to be from any specific department, right? You can be an engineer, work towards it, learn about it, and then become a GM and start selling the hotel at its best possible manner. So I think, yes, so the second thing is, and I always now tell the team that now, the second part of it is that you have knowledge, but you're not able to communicate that knowledge because you lack your presentation skills and your communication skills. Now that's something which is very, very important because it's a harsh reality that आप GM हो, but क्या आप GM की तरह दिखते हो?
How does people look at?
So that's the first part, right?
Yeah.
That do you look like a GM? Or do you behave like a GM? Do you know what GM has to do? That's the second part. Because that's only when you open your mouth and people will know that, you really have that skill set of becoming a GM. But when you walk into the room, people should, do you have that aura? Do you have that personality? Do you have that vibe? Do you have that charisma where people should really look up to you as a general manager, right? So that's very important, that you have to look like a GM. So for that, you need to start working on your personality right at the early age. There is no magic pill where you become a GM and overnight you will get those powers to start working or behaving like a GM, right? So it's all about making sure that when you're a supervisor or when you're, and I always say this, that you always need to invest in yourself, right? You need to have a best suit in your wardrobe. You need to have a shining shoes in your wardrobe. It will give you a lot of confidence because when the opportunity comes, you're ready for it. And it's all about how well you're present. It's all about how you're packaging yourself and selling it in the market, right?
Yeah.
And we are all the products who are selling ourselves on the market when we are going for the interviews and we're discussing about it, right? So it's very important that you, at a very early age, you need to start packaging yourself. You need to start improving your communication, personality, and it's all right because we all come from heavy regional accents. We all come from states which have that, which English or Hindi is not a very first language.
That's what we.
But my point is that that's not an excuse. If you've joined the industry, then you need to work towards it. You stand on a stage every day and start, and that's what our teachers used to teach us when we were in the schools. read newspapers. And I completely believe those basic principles which you've learned in a school or college are so true for the hospitality, that when you start standing in front of your mirror and start speaking loudly, when you start reading newspapers, it's very, very important that you do that, because that's the only way you're gonna enhance your your English, your communication, your confidence, your public speaking skills. All of that plays an important role.
How do you look at hospitality right now? So I'm talking about 5 years back ago, what hospitality was, number of hotels to number of people traveling versus what is today. And how do you look that is going to be in future, in next 5 years? What is?
I think it's booming. I think I'm moving abroad never excited me, because India is such a special place to be in.
I have the same mindset.
Yeah, it never ever excited me. Even though I have my family in England or Canada or in US, but I think what's happening in India right now is very, very special. I don't know if you heard this news. In last 1 year, there has been at least 10 super luxury hotels have been signed.
Yeah.
Right. We as an organization Radisson has signed Radisson Collection, which is of our luxury.
A sea show while on my way to my
in Hyderabad. So and I think we are far away from saturation. I think we have a long way to go. I think
hospitality will never get into saturation.
Yeah, I think
till the time we have a land on the earth,
I think it's gonna boom. Yeah, and business is booming. I think after pandemic, things have really turned